Feel the presence of God through winds. Discover a gentle, mindful way to connect with God through the natural world. This gentle leads you to step by step, to pause, breathe, and open your senses to the subtle yet powerful presence of God, using the wind as a reminder of His Spirit, perfect for quiet reflection, prayer, or a few moments of spiritual stillness. It helps you cultivate awareness, peace, and a deeper sense of divine nearness. In the busyness of life, it's easy to feel disconnected from others, from ourselves, and from God. Yet, God's presence is often nearer than we realize, quietly moving around as His ways we might overlook. One of the most powerful ways to sense His nearness is through nature. The wind, in particular, offers a gentle yet profound reminders of His Spirit. The wind is invisible, ever-present, and life-giving, much like God Himself. It can brush against our skin, rustle the leaves, and whisper softly, drawing our attentions beyond the noise of everyday life. By pausing, breathing deeply, and opening our hearts and senses, we can become aware of this divine presence and experience a quiet intimacy with God. This guide offers a step-by-step approach to feeling God through the wind, combining stillness, mindful breathing, and sensory awareness, and intentional prayer. It is an invitation to slow down, release distractions, and allow the Spirit to move in around you, reminding you that God is always near, even in great breeze. This guide offers a step-by-step approach to feeling God through the wind, combining stillness, mindful breathing, sensory awareness, and intentional prayer. It is an invitation to slow down, release distractions, and allow the Spirit to move in and around you, reminding you that God is always near, even in the gentlest breeze. Many people describe feeling the presence of God in nature, and the wind especially has a powerful way to symbolizing His nearness. In the Bible and in many spiritual traditions, wind often used as a metaphor for God's Spirit, something invisible yet undeniably real. Here's a way to approach this experience. Pause and become still. Find a quiet place outdoor where the wind moves freely. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Pausing and becoming still is more than just stopping physical movement. It's about intentionally quieting your mind and heart so you can sense God's presence. In our busy lives, we're constantly pulled in many directions: thoughts, worries, tasks, and noise. So stillness becomes an act of surrender and a focus. Here's what involves step by step. Find a quiet space. This could be outdoors where you feel the wind, or indoors where you want to be disturbed. The goal is to reduce distractions. Finding a quiet space is about creating an environment, both physically and mentally, where you can focus without distractions. The goal is to step away from the noise of daily life and intentionally enter a setting that invites reflection, stillness, and awareness of God. Here's a detailed breakdown. Choose your location thoughtfully. 1. Outdoors. A garden, park, riverside, or open field can be ideal because the wind is more noticeable and nature itself reflects God's handiwork. Indoors. If outside isn't possible, find a room with minimal noise, closed doors, and natural light. You can even sit by an open window to feel the breeze. Consider your comfort and safety. Make sure you can sit or stand comfortably for several minutes without interruption. Dress appropriately for the weather, or if you're outdoors, your comfort helps you focus. Minimize distractions. Silence your phone, turn off notifications, and let others know you need a few quiet minutes. If outside avoid areas is heavy traffic or loud machinery, choose a place where natural sounds dominate. Engage your senses. Look around and notice details, the movement of leaves, the light filtering through trees, and feel the breeze. Listen carefully to the wind, the birds, or the rustle of nature. These become channels to sense God's presence. Create a mental sacred space. Even if physically you are somewhere ordinary, mentally frame it as dedicated moment with God. It helps your mind shift from distraction to devotions. Initially, finding a quiet space is about preparing the setting and your mind, so that the gentle whisper of God through the wind or other natural elements can be truly noticed and felt. Second, slow your breathing. Slowing your breathing is a simple but powerful spiritual practice. It helps your body and mind transition from stress, distractions, or busyness into calm awareness. When you breathe slow, your heart rate decreases, your muscles relax, and your mind becomes more open to sensing God's presence. Here's a detailed approach. Get comfortable. Sit, stand, or lie down in a way that allows your lungs and expand fully. Keep your back straight if sitting or standing so your breath can flow freely. Begin with awareness. Take a moment to notice your natural breathing. Don't try to change it yet, just observe it. Feel the rise and fall of your chest or the expansions of your abdomen. Inhale slowly and deeply. Breathe is through your nose, counting to 5. Imagine drawing a calm, peace, and God's presence with your breath. Visualize the air filling not just your lungs, but every part of your being. Hold briefly. Pause for a moment after inhaling, counting to 2 to 3. This creates a sense of stillness and reflection. Exhale gently. Release the breath slowly through your mouth or nose, counting to 6 or 7, imagining letting go of tensions, worry, or distractions. Picture the exhale as a way of making space for God's Spirit to fill you. Repeat intentionally. Continue this rhythm for several cycles. You can adjust the counts to what feels natural. With each cycle, focus on the sensation of the air moving, the wind brushing your skin, and the sense that God is present in these small movements. Connect breath to the wind. As you breathe, feel the wind around you. As you breathe out, imagine the wind carrying your thoughts, worries, or prayers upward. This creates a flowing interactions between your body, nature, and God's presence. Slowing your breath doesn't just calm your body. It signals to your spirits that you are ready to receive, reflect, and become fully aware of the divine presence around you. Third, release your thoughts. Releasing your thoughts is about letting go of mental clutter of worries and distractions, so your mind becomes a calm space where God's presence can be felt. Our minds are often overloaded with plans, regrets, anxieties, or random noise, and this mental busyness can block awareness of the subtle way God speaks or moves around us. Here's a detailed approach. Acknowledge your thoughts without judgment. Start by noticing what's running through your mind. It could be worries, to-do lists, or fleeting images. Don't try to force them away or judge yourself for having them. Simply recognize. These thoughts are here, but they don't define this moment. Visualize letting them go. Imagine your thoughts as leaves floating on a stream or clouds drifting across the sky. Watch them move past without clinging to any thoughts. The goal is to observe without attachment. Link thoughts to the wind. As you exhale slowly, picture the wind carrying your thoughts away. Each breath out releases tensions, distractions, or worries, creating mental space for calm and spiritual awareness. Return gently to the present. Whenever your mind drifts back to a thought, gently bring your attentions back to your breathing and the sensation of the wind. Think of it returning home. Home being the still moment where you can sense God's presence. Invite God into a space you've created. With the mental clutter cleared, silently invite God to fill the quiet space. Even the simple thoughts like, Lord, be present here with me, or I open my heart to you, can deepen your awareness. By releasing your thoughts, you're not ignoring your mind. You're creating room for spiritual clarity. The wind around you becomes a living metaphor for God's Spirit, unseen, gentle, yet moving and present. Focus on your body and senses. Focusing on your body and senses is about anchoring yourself in the present moment. It transforms the experience from just thinking about God to actually feeling this presence through your physical and sensory awareness. God often communicates through the tangible world, and by tuning in, we become more receptive to subtle signs of His awareness. Ground yourself physically. Ground your feet on the earth or your body on a chair. Notice points of contacts, the weight of your body, the texture beneath you, and the stability it provides. Imagine this grounding as God supporting and holding you in His presence. Engage your sense of touch. Pay attention to the wind brushing against your skin. It is soft, strong, warm, or cool. Feel how the air moves around your hands, face, or arms. Let this gentle sensation remind you of God's invisible yet present Spirit moving through you. Open your sense of sight. Observe the movement in your surroundings, trees swaying, clouds drifting, or sunlight filtering through leaves. Notice the colors, shapes, and patterns. Let the beauty of creation reflect the Creator's presence. Listen deeply. Hear the sounds around you, the rustles of the leaves, bird songs, distant water, or the subtle hum of the wind. Let each sound become a point of meditations, a reminder that God's life surrounds and flows through all things. Smell and taste if possible. Take a natural sense, the freshness of air, flowers, or earth. Breathing in this sense can deepen your sense of being alive and connected to God's creation. Integrate sensory awareness with prayer or gratitude. As you notice this sensation, silently acknowledge God. I feel you in this breeze, in this warmth, in this moment. Let your senses become an instrument of praise and awareness, opening a direct channel to God's presence. By focusing on your body and senses, you move beyond abstract thought and allow God's Spirit to be experienced through the world around you. The wind, the air, the rustling leaves, all become tangible signs of His nearness. Invite God presence. Inviting God presence is an intentional act of opening your heart and mind. It's not about forcing a feeling, but creating a space where God can move, speak, and make Himself known. When paired with stillness, sensory awareness, and mindful breathing, these invitations become a powerful spiritual practice. Recognize your openness. Begin with acknowledging that you are creating this quiet, receptive space. Silently affirms, I am here, I am ready to encounter you, Lord. The steps is about consciously shifting from distractions or business into spiritual attentiveness. Use simple, heartfelt words or thoughts. Speak a prayer aloud or silently. Words or breaths helping you focus your intentions and deepen your awareness. Visualize God's presence around you. Imagine God's Spirit as a gentle wind moving through and around you, filling every space of your being. Picture the wind carrying your gratitude, hopes, and attentions directly to Him. Let this visualization connect to your inner awareness to the external experience of the breeze. Open your heart to experience. Release any expectations of what you should feel. God's presence may come in peace, warmth, and clarity, a subtle sense of joy, or simply the awareness of being loved. Trust that His nearness is real, even if it feels quiet or invisible. Stay receptive and attentive. Maintain gentle awareness of your breath, your senses, and the wind. Whenever your mind wanders, returns to the intentions, I am here with God, fully present. Allow small insights, feelings, or impressions to surface without judgment. Express gratitude. As you sense His presence, offer a simple thank you, acknowledging both the moment and awareness of His nearness. Gratitude reinforces the connection, making it easier to notice God in other moments of life as well. Inviting God's presence is essentially a conscious act of spiritual alignment. By combining stillness, sensory awareness, slow breathing, and a quiet mind, you create a fertile ground for the Spirit to be experienced, often symbolized by the gentle, invisible movement of the wind. Invite God's presence even more deeply, especially in the context of feeling Him through the wind. Inviting God's presence is both an act of intentions and an opening of the heart and mind. It's about consciously creating space within yourself for God to move, speak, and be experienced without forcing or controlling how He shows up. Set your intentions. Begin by mentally or verbally declaring your desires to sense God's presence. A simple praise could be, Lord, I am here, open to you. This step is about aligning your will with receptive attitude, acknowledging that you are intentionally seeking connections. Use prayer or affirmations. Speak to God in your own words, thanking Him, asking Him to be near, or simply expressing openness. Like, come, Holy Spirit, fill this space. I welcome you into this moment, Lord. Even short, silent prayers work. The key is sincerity and focus. Visualize His presence. Imagine God's Spirit moving through you, like the wind, gentle, life-giving, and invisible, yet undeniably real. Picture the breeze around you as a physical reminder of His nearness, flowing through every part of your being. Stay receptive without expectations. Let go of trying to feel a particular way. God may manifest as peace, warmth, clarity, joy, or even simply a deep sense of calm. Trust that His presence is fair, even if subtle. The goal is awareness, not a dramatic experience. Integrate your senses. Notice the wind, the sounds, and the feel of nature around you, linking these sensations to God's presence. For example, feel the wind on your skin and silently acknowledge, I feel your Spirit here with me. Maintain gentle focus, and your mind wanders, gently return to your intentions and the sensory cues around you. Think of this as keeping your heart open, like a window for God to move freely. Express gratitude as you sense God's presence. Offer thanks for His nearness, love, and guidance. Gratitude reinforces the connections and makes it easier to recognize His presence in future moments. In essence, inviting God's presence is about creating a sacred space within yourself. Still, aware, and open. By intentionally combining stillness, sensory awareness, and mindful breathing, and a receptive heart, you allow God's Spirit, often symbolized as a wind, to touch and fill your inner life. Wait in expectancy. Waiting in expectancy is an active form of stillness. It's not passive or idle. Rather, it's a patient, hopeful posture of the heart, trusting that God is present and ready to make Himself known in His timing. This steps deepens your spiritual awareness by combining faith, attentions, and a receptivity. Adopt a posture of openness. Sit, stand, or breathe in a relaxed yet alert way. Keep your body soft but attentive, signaling that you are ready to receive, not resist. Let go of impatience. It's common to want immediate signs, feelings, or experiences of God. Waiting in expectancy means releasing the need for instant result and trusting that God's presence may come suddenly, gradually, or unexpectedly. Focus on gentle awareness. Stay attuned to your surroundings, the rustle of leaves, the caress of the wind, the warmth of sunlight. Notice small details, subtle sensations, or fleeting thoughts that might otherwise be overlooked. Combine faith with attention. Mentally affirm, I trust you are here, Lord, even if I cannot fully perceive you yet. Expectancy is about faith that God is working even in silence or invisibility. Be patient and present. Let each moment unfold naturally without rushing or forcing a spiritual experience. If thoughts arise, gently return to your breath, your senses, or the sensation of the wind. Embrace subtlety. God's presence may manifest as peace, clarity, comfort, or simply an awareness of being loved. Even if nothing dramatic happens, the act of waiting in expectancy cultivates spiritual sensitivity and deepens intimacy with God. Integrate gratitude. While waiting, offer small acknowledgments. Gratitude reinforces your awareness and reinforces your heart's openness. Waiting in expectancy transforms stillness into faith-filled attentiveness. It teaches trust, patience, and attentiveness, qualities that make even subtle experience of God through the wind profoundly meaningful.